Hey there, Proud Nation, and welcome back to another episode of the Blue Collar Proud Show. It's the show all about having and living the blue-collar business dream. If you can dream it, you can build it, and Taylor and I are excited to be a part of your 2018 journey toward the success that you want in the business of your dreams. My name's Carter Harkins. With me every week is Taylor Hill.
I am here.
And this is a different episode this week. We're kind of taking a little bit of a short approach here. Taylor and I are doing a ton of speaking right now all over the country and traveling in this crazy winter wonderland weather that we're having. But so we wanted to keep this one short for you and provide you some really good takeaways and some good information. And it's actually with one of our favorite people today, Mark Stoner, who is the owner of Ashbuster's Chimney Service here in Nashville, Tennessee, and also the primary coach for the Blue Collar Gold University. Sorry, dude, I didn't mean to rename your university. How you doing, man?
I'll take it. Hey, guys, I'm doing great. It's always fantastic to get on the air with you guys, and thank you for thinking about me, and love to be part of it, so thank you.
Well, I'm excited about today's topic. We're going to be talking about mindset, and I really, you have experienced a business that was a nightmare. You've talked about that in your book, Blue Collar Gold, and you've also talked about what it was for you to start over and do it differently. And I'm sure that mindset is a large part of what you could talk about. So tell us a little bit about what mindset means to you.
Yeah, it's a great topic. There's a couple different things about mindset, the way I feel about it. The first mindset, and you hear this a lot when you hear other people go through bad situations where, the very first mindset was understanding what I really wanted and what I wanted to build no matter what happened. And so, I set out, one of my first big mindset things was to build to a 10 truck company. That was revolutionary at the time for me because I was one truck. I wasn't thinking, how can I build one more truck or two trucks? I was like, how can I get to 10? So I think sometimes people think just too small on the mindset because they think just a little more than they are now instead of how do I build 10 trucks or 20 trucks? And I think that's a big set. So then as I got going and I built it up and then I got to about 7 trucks and crashed it. Even though I crashed it and I had to let everyone go and I started over by myself, I still was going to build a 10 truck company. I knew what it took to get to 7 and crash it. How do I get to 10 and it be successful? And I think, when I coach other people with our Blue Collar Gold University, one of the big things is mindset. And when I do an exercise and I build out an organizational chart over the next 5 years, and we really stretched their thinking. I mean, they sometimes just start to laugh. They can't believe what their company is going to look like when you really change in a big way what you want to happen, not just little incremental ways. So that's kind of how I think about it.
Yeah, that's interesting because when they come to me after that, and a lot of people don't know, but I'm one of the coaches in the Blue Collar University, but when they come over here and we start breaking down what they have to do on the marketing side of it, I get the same reaction. They start laughing too because it's like, wow, okay. So I get that. So what I want to know from you is this one thing. When you got to 7 trucks and you had to let everybody go, what did that do to you personally in your mindset, and what did you have to do to overcome that to get back up to know that you could build to 10 and do it right the next time?
That was tough because we a lot of us, and I know you guys are the same way. We really lead with our heart. We really care about the people who get on board with us. That's part of our culture. That's part of who we are as people. And then as we develop as leaders, we really care about them. I mean, and we take them in and we want to do good for them. So imagine, and you're their leader. So as the leader, you have now run it into a ditch and the leader crashed the bus. And, you feel very guilty. You feel very humbled and very sad, and I literally cried over the situation that I was faced with, and there was no way out of it for me because I was so broke and I was so behind on everything. And I hadn't paid myself in months. I kept trying to pay my people. I wasn't taking a paycheck myself. And my mind, but that was okay for me because it really is my fault. This is me doing it. They gave me what I asked for, and I've run this, I've run it into the ditch. And so it was heartbreaking to do that to people, and, humbling, like I said, and I had put my big boy pants on and do it and say, look, I'm going to try to fix this, and if I can bring some people back, I will. Now, the thing is, not everybody was good for the business. There were several people in that business. I was not a good leader, so several people were taking advantage of my niceness and my, I was so spongy at leadership. Some friends of mine called me SpongeBob Stoner Pants. And so I was I didn't like consequences. And so once I brought everybody back, you talk about a mindset change. I really then got protective of my culture. I got protective of the right people that I let in the door. And I made it pretty quick to let people right back out of the company that were not good for the culture and not good for what I was building. So, that was part of it too. There was a little bit of a sharpness. I'm going to take full responsibility, but I'm also going to not let anybody mess with my culture and mess with my good people. And I had to get really a lot better at that.
So that's a huge shift, I think, for someone to realize that I'm going to move from letting business just sort of unfold and happen to me to I'm going to take a proactive approach. I'm going to start deciding what's going to happen and who I'm going to let on my team and what kind of people I want and what kind of culture I want. And I'm going to drive this thing with more intention. And that's a big mindset change.
It is. And, at first my mindset was, if I'm good enough to people, if I'm good to them and I pay them well and I'm good for them and I give them good counsel and I'm a good boss, they'll do right by me. And, you would think that is a good mindset, or I did at the time. Now, I had to change that to, yes, I'm going to be good to you, but you have to be good back, right? So
Yes.
I used to let people get by with kind of, crapping on me or not doing the right thing to other workers, or, I would kind of turn a blind eye to certain things. And now, as the leader of a totally different business, I'm quick to fix things and quick to not let things happen. And it was funny that this question, because I'm returning from, I've spent 2 days in Charleston, South Carolina. We have a branch office down here, and I'm down here working with my company here. And my main leader there hasn't worked with me directly for a couple of years. We work on the phone, we talk things, but I really haven't been down there to work on the business because he's doing a great job. But I get down there and I'm talking about these new things, and he looked at me and said, "Man, you're different. You're not like you were a long time ago." And it was about consequences. As he's building his business, I'm teaching him how to be a better leader. He goes, "This wasn't how it was," because he used to be a technician with me about 8 years ago in Nashville. And he said, "Man, you're a totally different leader now." And he said, I like it, but you've definitely changed since the days of when you wrecked the company," because he was there when I did it.
Oh, wow.
So tell me a little bit about the changes, Mark. I mean, one of the things I think that people have this idea is that once you become a leader, then you've become and you're there. So tell me about how your progression of what you've had to do personally to become not just the leader to bring it back to 10 trucks, but now I know you're the leader of a much bigger company. You've got several companies going. What is that progression to get from the 10 truck level all the way up to where you are now? And I know you've got big dreams beyond.
Well, thank you. A couple things, and I say this a lot, and you hear it a lot. One, a lot of reading and self-development. That's my number one thing that anybody can do for very little money, and they've got time to do it, whether they're in their car, they're driving around, they've got windshield time, they got nighttime, and really that's the cheapest, easiest thing you can do. But the other thing is to learn. When I push something out that's going to be a change as a leader, I totally understand there's going to be a pushback on all kinds of things. You've seen it happen to me over and over where I want to change something either in our industry, in my company, or whatever, and I put it out there as a thing, and then there's always a pushback that, I didn't used to expect, but now I totally expect. We've recently done some things in the industry and launched some new programs, and the majority of people really like it, but there's a group of people that don't. And I have to be okay with that, and I have to understand that I still have to follow what I think is right and where I'm going to go, and not to turn a blind eye to criticism. But another key example is when we switched from an hourly pay structure to a commission-based pay structure. I got a huge pushback from guys, but now my whole company would never want to be paid hourly. For just as an example, and I know some of your listeners understand there's things that scare them that they know they need to do, but they're scared to do them. And my best advice on that is you've got to do what you think is right, and just stand up to the criticism and stand up to the pushback, and try to see if they've got valid points. But other than that, you keep moving through to get where needs to happen. When I'm a coach, I see so many of these people that are scared to put consequences or change things in their business or fire a person that needs to be fired because they're scared of the retribution. But almost 100% of the time, after they do it, they're glad they did it. And so my mindset is, I think I really do know where we should go, and I've got pretty good guidance, and I've got good people around me to kind of keep me on track. And if those good people are saying go, 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 and I say go, 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 man, I gotta put the haters in the rear view.
That's right.
Move through it.
Knowing where you're headed, that's huge. So anything else about mindset that you want to just share with you? We've asked you a lot of questions, but I'm wondering, is there something else that you feel like is important to mention?
I think we've covered a lot on I think the overall too is just grit. They say grit is one of the key ingredients to making it. You just have to have that grit mentality that I'm going to make it. And, in my Blue Collar University thing recently, one of my people that came through, he said, this reminds me of that scene in the movie The Edge, the bear scene. It's Anthony Hopkins and Alec Baldwin, and they're going to kill the bear. He needs to kill the bear. And, Anthony Hopkins says, what one man can do, another can do. What one man can do, another can do. And he keeps saying that, and he makes Alec Baldwin, who doesn't believe it, finally say it. And finally, Alec says, what one man can do, another can do. And at the end, they use some cuss words to say, I'm going to kill the bear. And, if you get the I'm going to kill the bear, and if one man can do it, another can do it mindset, I think that's about as strong as I know of that'll get you through the problems.
Oh, that's so good.
That's good.
Man, what a great place to leave it. Mark Stoner, thank you, sir, for spending some time with us today to talk about this.
Always a pleasure. I look forward to seeing you guys soon.
Absolutely.
Right.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
One of the things that he said that I thought was so great was this, what got you where you are is not what's going to take you where you need to go. Yeah. And the mindset is that constantly evolving thing. It's always looking for a bigger picture, a bigger next thing, and stretching yourself to that, even when it's uncomfortable, even when you're afraid, deciding you're going to do it anyway, killing the bear. I think that's a great analogy.
Yeah. And for me, it's all about decisions. I mean, you know how I am about decisions. Anybody that knows me, that's worked with me at all, it's like, just decide to do it. Because once you make the decision that you're going to do it, then just don't let anything stop. You've made the decision. And there's a difference between deciding to do something and just thinking that you might. And so many people think they would like to do it, and they think that's a decision. A decision is a commitment. That's what a decision is. So when I say make the decision, that means decide you're committed to that thing, that nothing will stop you from getting that.
Yeah.
And that's much different than just dreaming and wishing.
And wishing. Yeah. Longing.
Yeah, longing for something. And those are two different things. So, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, good stuff. Well, listen, I just want to real quick run a few announcements by here just to let you know about what's going on. We want to just remind you that our book, Blue Collar Proud, 10 Principles for Building a Kick-Ass Business You Love, is available in Amazon.com. You can get that. It's still the beginning of the year. It's time to be thinking about mindset. It's time to be thinking about what things you need to focus on in your business. And this book has 10 specific areas that you can focus on and to really start building a solid foundation and growing your business. It may mean that you find out that there's a huge change that needs to take place. You know, Mark Stoner fired everybody in his business and started over. I don't know if that's going to be your path or not, but we've certainly met others that have done it that way, and they've come back stronger and better and bigger as a result of being intentional about how they want to grow. But this book really talks about the things that you need to know, the things that need to be present in every single successful business. And so get a copy of that at Amazon.com. Also, just want to thank you guys for communicating with us in the Blue Collar Proud Nation Facebook group and for leaving reviews all across the web. If you're interested in leaving a review for us, you can do that. Simply go to iTunes, open it up, look for Blue Collar Proud Show, and you can leave a review for us there. You can also do it on Facebook, right there in the Proud Nation Facebook group, or on our page as well. Check out our website, bcpshow.com, and while you're there, go to bcpshow.com/app and download the free app for either your Apple or your Android phone. It's a great place to connect with us, to get notified every single time there's a new episode that drops, as well as special offers and bonus content available to you all throughout the year. So get that. It's free, and I think you're going to enjoy it. And that's all the announcements I've got. Taylor and I just want to thank you guys for being a part of the show, and want to just remind you that you can connect with us over on the Blue Collar Proud Nation Facebook group. That's it. Thanks for listening, and we want to thank the people that make this show happen every single week. Aaron Blaze, our technical director, Jessica Wynn, our show coordinator, and Jonathan Sanders, our social media manager. Until next time, remember this: it takes the same energy to build a business that you hate and consumes you as it does to build one you're proud of and that you love. So why not build it the Blue Collar Proud way? See you next time.
The Blue Collar Proud Show is a production of the Blue Collar Proud Network.